we're getting ready to cut the 34 in half. This is the front half of the homegrown Hustler. And we're getting ready to reback half. We had the car pretty close to being able to run and drive and everything like that. But I'm going to redo the back half so that we can use all four doors, so we can throw the bench seat in the back for, you know, the kids and whatever. They'll jump in the back seat, go for a ride. So sick week is, how far in sick week?
The first day of sick week and then 1 month.
So we got 30 days to redo this car, which is plenty of time for us. That's not that big of a deal. So tonight we're gonna cut this car in half. We're gonna block it all up so it's 100% level, and we're gonna lower the rear frame rails back to a much lower position so that we can toss the bench seat in the back, still have head clearance, and do things a little bit differently. The reason why the rails were so tall on the homegrown Hustler was to raise the center of gravity in the back of the car, so when I added my weight belts and stuff like that, it was extremely secure and a lot higher in the chassis. Or I could put it at different levels essentially. I can either mount weight off the upper bars, the lower bars, or at any distance along the rail. Just to change this, the weight bias on the car and the way the chassis acts. So, the rear suspension, I rebuilt all that stuff. New 3-point rear suspension setup, basically like a ladder bar, but I built them off of 4-link brackets on the front and the rear. We'll go into more in depth when we strip this all apart. But yeah, I guess we're gonna get after it and get to cut. Good? Perfect.
Action.
Okay guys, we're getting ready to measure up for the head studs. I have a guy that can make custom one-off head studs for us. Normally we use, like what everyone else uses, just ARP head studs, but with Corona and everything else going on, there's a back order on heads and stuff like that. And with the trick flow blocks that we have, the head studs are a little bit different configuration as far as lengths go than a conventional big block Chevy. Aluminum blocks are a little bit deeper and so on and so forth. Big Chief head studs are much larger. We run a conventional big block Chevy head. You can see that the ports are right next to each other, okay? On like a Big Chief or what's that Big Chief style, or a symmetrical port head, there'd be one here, then like one here, then one here, and one here, and they're all evenly spaced out. We run just a conventional head where they're standard like 24-degree head, which means a 24-degree angle. Not angle of the cylinder head, but angle of the valves and stuff like that. But you see how these are together like that, okay? So this is just conventional head, but on here,
Bring the camera over?
yeah.
What are we looking at?
Over here.
Over here.
These do have a slightly raised exhaust runner, okay? To make the exhaust flow coming out of the valve a little bit straighter, okay? A normal big block Chevy is like a little bit, I think these ones are a 1/2 inch. So a normal big block Chevy, like on your grandpa's pickup truck, the exhaust port would be a little bit farther down here. So these head studs are a little bit taller. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna measure all these. Normally I'd use a micrometer, but I don't know where my micrometer is. So we're just gonna do it the old fashioned way. That's gonna work just as well. So we're just gonna go through here. I'm gonna mark all these guys. Depth of the head there is 4 3/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 at, that was 4 3/8, right?
Yes.
that mark off. We got our shorties. That'd be 5, 6, 7, and 8. How many more are there?
Another 8?
Damn, girl, you're learning something. So we got this guy here. I think this is gonna be probably a loner. We're 8, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, right? 14 of them. And, not 14. How many more are we?
We were at 8.
3 and 3 eighths. 8 to 14. 6.
So which size is the loner size?
Huh?
Which one's the loner? You said one of them was a size all of its own.
Sometimes it's this one.
But that one's the same as the other?
These ones are the same as these. But then you're gonna have a short one here and a short one here.
Okay.
But they might be the same length. I'm not 100% sure.
As each other or as the others?
As each other. Yep, these two are the same. 2 and 7. 2 and 7 eighths. 2 and 7 eighths. So we got 2 and 2 and 7 eighths. So 8, 10, 16. 16 studs. Okay? And then on a big block Chevy also, these aren't studs that we'll have custom made, but they're studs that we put into the intake runners right here and right here. Okay? Tell them why.
To line the head up on the block?
No.
Oh.
That's what the dowel pins are for.
Oh.
Count the studs around the cylinders. Count them. No, if that one wasn't there.
If that one wasn't there.
Yeah. Without this here, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On this one, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On this one, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So these extra head studs that we put into the intake runners, they're just a 3/8 stud, and there's little there's embossments in the block, so that we put a 3/8 stud through here, and well, 7/16 into the head and 3/8. It's a tapered stud, similar to like a rod bolt stud. So 7/16 course into the head, into the intake runner, and then you put a 3/8. It tapers down to 3/8 through the block, and it gives these two cylinders here a 6 stud around it to help keep from shooting the intake or head gasket out the top.